What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel where we break down the biggest names in global pop, one story at a time. Today we're diving into a group that's been absolutely taking over the world, KATSEYE. And we're not just doing the surface level stuff. We're going through 10 facts about KATSEYE you probably didn't know. All right, let's get into it. 6-member global group, by design. You probably know that KATSEYE is made up of 6 members: Daniela, Lara, Manon, Megan, Sophia, and Yunche. But here's what makes them special. This isn't a group where everyone comes from the same city and the same background, and that wasn't an accident. The entire concept behind KATSEYE was to build a group with a truly international makeup, different nationalities, different languages, different upbringings, all under one name. So when the group promotes, they're not just aiming at one country's charts. They're built to connect with fans on basically every continent at the same time. Think about it. Most groups spend years trying to break into a foreign market. KATSEYE was engineered from day one to already belong to all of them, so if you've ever felt like there's a member who represents your part of the world, that was the whole plan, formed through a reality competition. Here's one a lot of casual listeners completely miss. KATSEYE wasn't just handpicked in a meeting room. The members earned their spots through a survival competition called the Debut, Dream Academy, which a lot of you probably caught on Netflix under the title Pop Star Academy KATSEYE. This was a global search. Thousands of hopefuls, narrowed down over months of training, eliminations, and gut-wrenching cuts. The cameras caught all of it. The exhaustion, the friendships, the heartbreak of people who didn't make the final lineup. So when you watch KATSEYE perform now, understand this. Every single member you love fought for that spot. They were tested over and over, and they survived. If you haven't seen the documentary, go watch it. I promise the group hits completely differently once you've seen what they went through to get here. Gemstone name. Ever wondered where the name KATSEYE actually comes from? It's inspired by the KATSEYE gemstone, that stunning stone that shimmers and shifts color depending on how the light catches it. And the symbolism is genuinely beautiful. Those shifting colors inside the stone represent the uniqueness of each individual member. 6 different people, 6 different origins, all reflecting light in their own way, but forming one single gem. For a group built entirely around diversity, it's almost the perfect metaphor. And here's the fun little detail fans love. The members picked the name off a list, but swapping the C in cat for a K, turning it into KATSEYE, was Lara's idea, specifically to make it look cooler and more distinct. Icons fandom. If you're watching this video right now, congratulations. There's a good chance you already qualify. KATSEYE's official fandom is called Icons, and it's a clever little wordplay. It mashes together I, pulled straight from KATSEYE, and the word icon. Put them together and you get icons. The idea that every fan is part of something iconic. It's more than just a cute name too. A fandom name gives a community its identity. It's what fans rally behind at concerts, defend online, and use to recognize each other. So the next time someone asks what you call yourself as a KATSEYE fan, you've got the answer locked and loaded. If you're enjoying this and learning something, do me one small favor. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. It genuinely helps this channel grow. It's completely free, and it means you'll never miss the next deep dive. Sophia was on Family Feud Philippines. Okay, this one always gets a huge reaction, so stay with me. Before KATSEYE ever existed, member Sofia La Forteza, who was born in Manila, Philippines, actually appeared on Family Feud Philippines back in 2022. Let that fully land. Just a couple of years before performing on award show stages in front of the world, she was standing at a game show buzzer on national TV. That is a glow-up of legendary proportions. And it says something about her too. Sophia grew up surrounded by performance. She's often the one helping guide interviews. She's a real, genuine K-pop fan herself, and fans lovingly call her the mom friend of the group. So Filipino icons, I already know you're screaming right now, and you've earned it. That's your girl representing on the world stage. Manon has been writing songs since she was 5. Here's one that quietly blew my mind. KATSEYE's eldest member, Manon Bannerman, born and raised in Switzerland, has been writing her own songs since she was 5 years old. Sit with that for a second. Most of us at 5 were still figuring out how to color inside the lines. Manon was already putting words and melodies together. That's not a hobby she picked up. That's a lifelong instinct. And it reframes everything about her. This is someone who's also fluent in multiple languages, who broke ground as the first Black artist signed under Hybe, and who clearly sees music as something she was built to do. So when you hear her on a track, remember, she's been in training for this her entire life, longer than almost anyone in the group. Quick note for the real ones. Manon's currently on an announced hiatus focusing on her health, and the whole fandom is wishing her well. Daniela comes from actual dance royalty. This one explains so much the second you hear it. KATSEYE's main dancer, Daniela Avanzini, didn't just fall in love with dance. She was basically born into a dynasty. Her mother was the first Cuban to ever win a world ballroom championship, and she was Daniela's very first dance teacher. Now let that sink in. Before most kids could ride a bike, Daniela was learning from a literal world champion in her own home. She started competitive dance sport at age 3, and by the time she was a kid, she was already on national TV. She appeared on America's Got Talent and became a top 10 finalist on So You Think You Can Dance, The Next Generation. So when you watch Daniela absolutely command a stage and wonder how one person can move like that, that's your answer. It's in her blood, it's in her training, and it's been building since she could walk. Megan had 3 careers before she even debuted. Megan's pre-KATSEYE resume is honestly ridiculous, in the best way. Before she ever stepped onto the Dream Academy stage, Megan Skiandeel had already guest starred on a Disney Channel show, trained as a J-pop idol, and built up a whole chaotic internet presence. Fans later dug up an old, long-abandoned YouTube channel from young Megan. Let that land. Disney Channel actress, J-pop trainee, early internet content creator, and she pulled all of that off before most people even graduate high school. This is someone who's been chasing the spotlight from basically every possible angle her whole life. And it makes her one of the most fascinating members to me. Born in Hawaii, with Singaporean, Chinese, and Swedish-American roots, she's soft-spoken until she gets comfortable, and then she turns out to be secretly one of the funniest people in the group. That quiet one energy? Don't be fooled. Megan's been a performer forever. Yoonchae is the youngest and the tallest. We're closing on my favorite little plot twist. Yoonchae Jung is the maknae, the youngest member of KATSEYE, but here's the kicker. She's also the tallest. The baby of the group literally looks down on all her older members. And it gets better once you know her personality. This is a girl who, when asked what superpower she'd want, said telekinesis, specifically so she could turn off the lights and eat cereal without using her hands. That is the most maknae answer in human history, and I love her for it. But don't let the goofy stuff fool you. Yoonchae is the group's only South Korean member. She trained for years before Dream Academy, and she cited BTS as the entire reason she got into K-pop in the first place. She graduated high school at 16, and the older members threw her a surprise graduation party while prepping their debut. So yeah, tallest, youngest, funniest, and quietly one of the most driven people in the group. Lara worked with Michelle Obama's foundation. Here's one that stops people in their tracks. Long before Lara Raj was a global pop star, she appeared in a campaign for Michelle Obama's Global Girls Alliance, an initiative under the Obama Foundation focused on girls' education around the world. Let that land for a second. Before the charts, before the sold-out shows, a young Lara was already lending her voice to something that big, attached to a former First Lady's foundation. That is not your average pre-debut resume, and it fits exactly who she is. Lara is the first Indian artist ever signed under HYBE, and she grew up frustrated by how little South Asian representation she saw in music and entertainment. Instead of letting that stop her, she made it her mission. She has openly said she wants young Indian girls watching her to know that anything is possible. So the next time you see Lara owning a stage, remember, she was fighting to open that door long before she ever walked through it. If you made it to the end, you already know the move. Smash that subscribe button, drop a like, and send this to a friend who needs to get into KATSEYE. More global pop breakdowns are on the way, and you do not want to miss them. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!